So the world's first Mechanics Institute was established in Edinburgh, Scotland in October of 1821. Mechanics Institutes were formed to provide libraries and forms of adult education, particularly in technical subjects, to sort of support the growing industrialization at the time, geared specifically towards working men, working class men. As such, they were often funded by local industrialists on the ground that they would eventually and ultimately benefit from having more knowledgeable and skilled employees. Mechanics Institutes, as an institution, did not last very long. I've read at one point that they lasted about 30 years, but I've also read another instance where they only lasted for maybe about 50 years. Although at their peak, there was about 700 of them worldwide. Now, one of the things I find is particularly very poetic is that in many places, including where I live, which is the province of Ontario, all those sort of failed mechanics institutes or past mechanics institutes, their buildings and core collections became the foundations of the very first public libraries. Now, I have to admit, when I see some makerspaces, they do remind me of mechanics institutes. They're subsidized spaces, some of them that exist to provide technologies to be used for potential startups. And if that remains their primary focus, I think that their moment will pass, just like mechanics institutes. And this is one of the reasons why I am really proud of the library profession, and I'm really happy about how libraries have really embraced maker movements and the maker movement and really have made them their own. Because I think by and large, libraries keep the people at the center of the space and not technology. What I'm really particularly proud of as libraries is that they've opted to be much more accessible in their materials and much more accessible in their spaces, much more approachable for more people. And they host activities that emphasize creativity, personal expression, and learning and joy through play. I have been to this makerspace. This is called the Bubbler. Has anyone been there? Yay! All right, tell me if it's as wonderful as I think it is.
It's awesome.
Wonderful. Okay, good. It's awesome. It is a visually based makerspace from the Madison Public Library. If you look at their website, you might be as impressed. I think they're doing many wonderful things. They host events like bicycle hacking, audio engineering, board game making, media creation projects. And I'm particularly impressed how they're using these sort of same programs, and they're working, for example, in juvenile justice programs to bring these very sort of same activities and workshops to justice and youth. I think libraries, as long as we continue to focus on building a better future for all of us, then I think libraries are safe and continuing to be a space where the future can be built.